Welcome to another episode of Game Jockeys, the Lazarus Podject. My name is Eric, and I'm here with Kelly.
Hey.
And Tyler.
Hey.
So, how's your guys' weekend been? Kelly?
Busy. It's been really busy for me. This week, well, I've been moving my girlfriend because she's actually coming from a place, well, like 2 hours away. So she's moving in, and she's going to go to school. Actually, she's going to university in closer to actually where Tyler lives.
So right she's moving from a place to a much nearer place.
Which is awesome.
That is awesome. That's exciting.
Hey man, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me.
So actually, this last weekend, it was kind of interesting. I had to go babysit a dog in a trailer. It's actually my girlfriend's mother's trailer, and I was all there by myself because they went to Saskatoon actually, which is where they live.
So you say it now?
Yeah, I know. No, but so anyways, I had to go to the trailer, and have you ever guys slept in a trailer all by yourself at night? It is the creepiest thing in the world. It's like right out of a horror movie.
Like, what kind of trailer are we talking about? Like, we're talking like camper trailer? Or
No, like a home trailer.
Oh, home trailer. Like a mobile home.
Like trailer park.
A mobile trailer.
Oh,
yeah, like Ricky's trailer park.
I thought you were talking like an
RV. So yeah, it was just
What
creepy
was that?
shit. So I rented a crap ton of movies and pretty much stayed up all night watching it, so I didn't go to sleep because I was petrified of this trailer.
So you wanted to be like a band, so you watched all the action movies.
Yeah, that's kind of what I want to talk about. Is some of the
Save me, Bruce Willis.
movies. Yeah, and pizza. Pizza saved me.
Tell me more about how you're a retired police officer, or no, you're a disgruntled police officer 2 weeks from retirement. Now you're that's what every Bruce Willis story is. It's awesome.
Yeah, Die Hard. Yeah.
Isn't Bruce Willis like your favorite?
Oh, I love Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Die Hard is my favorite movies. That or Rush Hour, I don't know.
The first one is so good, right?
First one was awesome. Well, all the Die Hards were good except for the latest one.
Even then, it's like still worth a watch, right?
I haven't watched it. I've just heard a lot of people smack talking it.
Yeah. It's not bad. It's PG, so you can't be like yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. It's the whole yippee-ki-yay, my friend again.
No. They PG that, didn't they? Oh, yeah.
My favorite was TBS Superstation on the second one, which is in the airport. And he has that huge rant where he's just like going off on the air control. And then on TBS, it's like, it might be him talking, but none of it is what he was saying. It didn't even kind of come close to matching. Not even close. Listen here, sir. I'm not very happy about how that airplane is there. My wife is on that airplane. Awful.
I don't know. It was brilliant for its time, right?
Oh, I love those movies. Just TBS is terrible.
TBS, man, what was it? I was watching a series. Oh, Van Helsing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have actually seen Van Helsing, which is a great movie. 2 points. I see Tyler being like,
It wasn't good, but it wasn't bad.
It was a fun movie, but it was really low budget. It was a low budget movie.
It was a low budget,
yeah,
right?
and that's just right? Like, it's good for what it was.
The amount of time
Hugh Jackman, right?
The amount of time that guns broke on Hugh Jackman. Like, they had to replace guns, like, left, right, and center. Like, he'd pull the gun out, it would just, like, disintegrate in his hand.
Yeah, because he's so fucking swole.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Tyler.
Come on, bro.
But anyways, back to what I was talking about. So I was watching Van Helsing, and it had the ball part where Dracula's dancing with the damsel or whatever have you, and there's nobody in there.
Yeah.
Then they went to commercial, and it comes back. It was like they skipped like a half hour.
Really?
Like they skipped like a good chunk of a scene. I'm like, what the hell?
Dancing in his castle, now Van Helsing stabbing him.
Yeah, well, it's like he's turning into a werewolf. Like,
yeah.
And Frankenstein's getting shipped away. I'm like, did I miss something here? Like,
did I stroke off for a minute?
Like, did I fall asleep? Like,
well, that's how it is on like TV when they have commercials. They always end up like cutting out parts of the movie.
Yeah.
It's so unfortunate. But...
Fade to 3 seasons from now.
Yeah.
So what else did you watch then?
Like me on the weekend?
Yeah.
So I watched the Bourne series, like the Good series, the Born Identity, Supremacy, and Ultimatum.
Yeah.
And like I forgot how good Matt Damon actually is.
Matt Damon.
At being Matt Damon, right? Like
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
So he plays a great guy not knowing who he is until he finds out who he is, right? Like I'm Matt Damon.
Yeah. That's
But
awful.
yeah, it makes me want to be a secret agent. Like, I can see myself.
You know what makes you want to be a secret agent? And I'm saying this as a prelude into what we were talking about before. Fucking Kingsman.
Yeah, okay. That leads into my next movie that I watched, Kingsman. I gotta say, that has been one of the best movies I've seen in the past 3 years.
It came out of nowhere, too.
Oh, and it's so good. And Sam Jackson's brilliant as a villain in that.
Yeah.
His lisp is on. It is so good.
It is high on my to-watch list. I'm slowly catching up on stuff.
Yeah, and like, I gotta tell you, that church scene...
Oh, fuck. That guy...
I was stunned.
Off. Yeah.
Like, you're just like, ooh.
And like everything in it. It's just like 5 minutes of what?
Yeah, you're literally it's not Chris Rock. Yeah, it's Chris Rock from Friday and Ice Cube. And they're just like, damn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, all the time, right?
It was so good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and yeah, like just showed up one day at the theater and it's like, well, let's go see the Kingsman, and just blown away by it.
Yeah, I heard a lot of great things about it, especially for a movie like you said that came out of nowhere.
And like no big names other than Sammy J, I think.
That's all you.
Yeah, and it's like based like Britain, right?
I
So
guess,
it's like
yeah. It also had Alfred.
yeah, it was just
We'll just call him Alfred.
it's Kane.
Michael
Caine.
Caine.
Yeah, it is Michael Caine.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Got it.
Got
First
it.
try. With certainty.
So yeah, if you haven't watched Kingsman, please go watch it. It's worth a watch, and it's at your local rental place if you live in a.
DMV.
Blockbuster?
No, those died. Not even like little hick ass towns now have Blockbuster. It's gone.
Yeah, I know.
Little hick towns. Welcome to this province.
Yeah.
So did you see Ant-Man at all this weekend?
I didn't.
Which came
I am
out
the
last
only
Friday.
guy out of everyone here that hasn't seen Ant-Man, and
And this is my subtle way of rubbing it in.
I had plans tomorrow, but I might cancel them just to go watch it.
Like I said, you were invited on Sunday. It was,
I know.
And it was your idea.
It was my idea to go, and then I'm just like, well, things happen. And
It was a terrible movie that made no sense. That was awesome. It was entertaining.
like Ant-Man.
Yeah, it had good action. It had really good comedy. Paul Rudd is still... I like Paul Rudd.
So this is what I want to ask Eric, because Eric would know. How close did it stay to the comics?
Oh, it's way off.
Oh, really?
Well, it's not like Hank Pym. Like, it was cool how they did it. Like, I disagree with the making no sense part because they absolutely made sense.
No, it didn't.
It did.
That suit doesn't make fucking sense.
Well, it's a superhero. It's not supposed to make sense. I mean, like, the story itself made sense because they did a really good job filling things in. Like,
Tyler making sense out of a Marvel movie? What the hell's wrong with
But
you?
like the other superheroes and stuff, like you can buy it. It makes sense in the picture in the film. But Ant-Man, it's like he's tiny and punching just as hard as a regular, normal-sized man. But you would lose so much speed in relation to how fast you were going when you're tiny to when you were big that it would weaken your blows.
Yeah, but it also has to do with the actual Pym molecule in the suit itself because it amplifies his strength. It's just like Iron Man wearing his armor.
They never said it amplified his strength.
Yes, they did. Hope does explain to him that it amplifies his strength when he's small.
No, it just amplifies the strength of his impacts because it treats the tiny impact as a large impact with the force-wise, but with a more centralized pinpoint location. So, like, his little tiny fist is just as strong as his big fist.
It's like hitting like a bullet.
let's go say it right now. Paul Rudd,
Paul
packs a punch.
Rudd did an amazing job.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
The comedic timing was great.
Oh, and it
There's
was
a couple parts where it's like laugh
way,
out loud.
way better than Age of Ultron. It didn't feel like it was forced at all.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
The last time I've laughed out loud in a theater was probably at the end of Star Wars 3 when Anakin becomes Vader.
No! No, that's really cool because like I was really curious on how they're going to do the whole Hank Pym thing because he's older in this, right?
Yeah.
And like I've always known Ant-Man as Hank Pym.
Not to spoil anything.
Well, it's not really spoiling anything.
I know, but just try not to go into that realm.
Well, I'm not. Like it fills in on how, when he was Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Because he actually was Ant-Man at a point, and it kind of explains why he stopped being it. And like in the comics, when he turns into Yellow Jacket, I don't know how much you've read of the Ant-Man comics, but Yellow Jacket was basically one of his alter egos that he went with, and it was when he kind of goes evil for a little bit because the Pym particles, as they call it, screw with your mental, the way your mind works, which you see in the movie with the main bad guy.
Well, they explain that in the movie too. That's why he has the helmet on to protect his own mind.
Yeah, right. And like they actually used that suit, the Yellow Jacket suit. That's what the bad guy's wearing in the movie.
Yeah.
And without going into too much detail, all around, like they did a really good job with the movie.
Yeah.
For what it is, I mean, it was no Guardians of the Galaxy, but it was definitely still.
It's worth seeing.
Better than Iron Man 3.
That's not saying much.
Probably just Iron Man
Just
2.
throwing that out there. Was it better than Avengers? That's the key point.
No, it wasn't better than Avengers.
Yeah, I would.
It's hard to be better than the Avengers.
Well,
Avengers 2 did
like,
better than Avengers.
Okay, yeah, Avengers 2, I meant to say.
Avengers 2 is better than Avengers 1.
Absolutely was.
Mm.
Because they actually got to play the characters.
That's the first
That's
thing
true.
we
There's
agreed
no
upon
back
all day.
like character build up
It was-
except for Hawkeye.
And Hawkeye's Hawkeye.
Hawkeye is awesome in Avengers
But that's the
2.
thing, like they all play their characters in this one, in it, and you don't see just Thor show up, throw some lightning bolts, and then and that was it. He actually is kicking the shit out of people.
Yeah.
And it also opens up for like Winter Soldier, the
Civil War.
They kind of explain how that's going to be in there, and they hint at Wasp, and there is a decent amount of like. There's a really fun cameo where he actually has to deal with Falcon.
Was there for Ant-Man is Wasp actually part of it? Did it leak a little?
I'm not going to say because you haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
They do have Wasp kind of in the movie.
Okay.
You will definitely be seeing Wasp in future movies.
Because she's like important in the Avengers.
She is, but again, this isn't Hank Pym, so it's Scott Lang being Ant-Man this time.
Right, and I understand that, but even
she is going to play a part in it. Wasp is going to be in it. It's a little different, but if you watch the movie, it explains it all really well.
Yeah.
And it also explains why he stops being Ant-Man to begin with, like why Hank Pym takes the suit off and everything. Solid movie. If you haven't seen it, definitely go see it. It's well worth watching.
Yeah.
If you don't know anything about Ant-Man, it does a really good job kind of catching you up with everything, and it ties Ant-Man in for Civil War. Make sure you stay for after the long credits, because there's 2 post-credit scenes.
Oh,
don't you dare! Don't you dare!
Don't.
I missed the last one. I saw the first one, but you have to wait for after the long, sprawling text of
It
credits.
sucks when they do that. To be quite frank with you.
Well, the reason why they do that is so that you can stick around and look at the screen and be like, oh, that person.
Yeah, and then you
yeah.
just like say people's names that are funny, and you just say them out loud. It's like,
Yeah.
Well, see, like it was fun when they did it with the Avengers, because the scene that they showed at the end,
Shawarma?
where they're sitting there, where they're getting. It wasn't really an important scene. It was kind of more of a funny scene. Where this one is like it ties it into future movies.
I just don't think they should do it at all. Just put it at the end of the thing.
Like after the short credits, where they do the little quick end credits of all the main characters in the movie, show the title, do your post-credit scene, let people leave. Don't make me sit for another 20 minutes and stare at sprawling text.
Yeah, I'm not reading names. I don't care who the key grip is.
Well, like, not only that, but like people that do get impatient with that, they just go home anyways. They just and then go look up on YouTube.
Exactly,
after.
and that's what you do. You just YouTube it.
Yeah, and like if I would have known it was there, I probably would have sat and waited, but I didn't know it was there. So
Speaking of YouTube, find us at Game Jockeys on YouTube. All one word.
Oh, man,
Shameless.
that plug.
Yeah.
It would have been
Oh
better
yeah,
had I done
Game
it.
Jockeys. Go find us. One word.
Yeah.
What did you do this weekend, Tyler?
What did I do this weekend?
Other than seeing Ant-Man.
A whole lot of landscaping, and I played a bunch of Terraria and Ironcast and Darkest
Terraria, hey? We were talking about that earlier.
Terraria.
You two did a Let's Play, and it's coming up soon, right?
Soon. Once it's all finished up and cleaned up, we can see how terrible of a teammate I am.
You
Well,
sure
that's-
can.
You're terrible. I can tell you that right now.
Eric is a complete D-bag.
I appreciate that. Remind me when you come and play with us. I'm going to make sure that you die.
Yeah. You die first.
So that means I'm never playing.
And make sure that you protect your house very well.
Yes. We have the remnants of our first base that I worked on, and it's like maybe half of it's left.
No, I don't even think it's half. When I was starting to get the town ready, because we're starting to build the town.
Yeah.
I did a lot of work in there to clear up some of the landscape, which
Oh yeah.
we'll have to do some more work.
Terraria is so good though.
It
It's
is a
like
good game.
Minecraft, but with a focus on making you feel powerful, and your character actually feel like you've progressed.
Yeah.
Whereas Minecraft, you're like, I have a diamond pick now.
I never got into the Minecraft.
It's
You
fun.
know.
Like it's a lot of fun to build objects in 3D and stuff. Like it's Lego for everyone, and
Yeah.
that's
Which is
I
actually
just
a game I want to try is the new Lego Worlds.
it's a good creative outlet. Lego War. Oh yeah, right too.
Yeah, it's on Steam. It looks really cool because you can build vehicles and everything. And
Just get Gary's mod. Gary's mod is a clusterfuck of whatever you can
I
possibly imagine.
have Gary's mod. You won't teach me how to play
I can't teach you how to play because then I'd have to teach myself again. And that's a nightmare.
it.
There's so many things to do in that. You're like, I want to build an airplane. Good luck.
have fun.
Yeah, you have 800 different objects you can build it out of. You have no starting point. You just have to do and learn or watch hours of tutorial and get your degree in Gary's mod.
Yeah, that's just I don't. Yeah, it's just like the
Doctor in
Boshi, right?
It's a degree in physics.
Like Boshi's is like, okay, here we go. Let's attempt this level 50 billion times, and then we might get it.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. You can make some pretty sweet stuff in Gary's mod, though. It is pretty sweet.
Yeah, I watch a couple of people do it on Twitch, and
Oh yeah,
yeah, I'm a fan. I think it's awesome.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So is that all you did this weekend?
Darkest Dungeon got a new thing, new update.
I need to get back on that. I haven't played much of it.
Good.
I lost my first team, so I was a little discouraged.
More darker, more dungeon. More
A game that makes Dark Souls look easy.
Dark Souls is easy.
Bite me.
Game's a joke, bro.
Did you actually say Dark Souls is easy?
Dark Souls is easy.
Okay, Dark Souls 1 or 2?
2. E to the Z to the P to the Z.
He's not lying. I watched him play Bloodborne for his first time, and we took like the worst setup possible that you could possibly make for a starting out character, and
Poor or
he
whatever.
almost took down the first boss first try, no problems.
Yeah.
It was pretty boss.
Game's easy, bro.
Go outside.
My controller can't reach.
Says the only guy who's actually in shape out of all of us.
Hey, I'm in shape.
You're-
I'm round.
You're a shape.
I'm round.
Shape. I shape.
Oh, like
There's a
in shape.
difference.
In shape.
Like if we ran a marathon, you and me would make it down the block, and then we'd have to go stop for cheeseburgers.
Well, I go 2
I'd
blocks,
say
depending if
cheeseburgers.
there's like some food in front of me.
I like cheeseburgers.
Well,
I don't eat red meat.
oh,
Believe it or not, the fat guy here doesn't eat red meat.
I'm a vegan.
The fuck out. You know?
How much wheat are you eating?
Yeah.
we don't take kindly to your kind.
You use the word kind too much, that bothers me. It's like when you summon Tharisian, and he says, by the power of Ragnaros, I have the power. It bothers me.
You mean He-Man?
No.
By
It's
the power of
parody.
Grayskull, I have the power?
It's the parody. It's Emperor Tharisian from Hearthstone.
I don't.
Yeah, see, gamer versus nerd.
Also, Hearthstone just got a new patch. Or not update. Coming out soon, anyways.
Isn't like the grand tournament or something coming
Yeah,
up?
it is.
I actually want to talk a
30
little bit
cards
about
and-
Hearthstone.
Hearthstone's so good.
As a person, I don't know if anyone's know my background, but I'm a pretty big Magic player, right? Like I play Magic the Gathering quite hard, and one of the things is that the online, right? Magic Online.
MTGO.
Yeah, and it is actually the biggest piece of shit ever.
Oh
and
God, is it ever?
And it is so pathetic that a lot of the people that are professional players in it that actually get money have said, you know, enough's enough with this shitty software, and they abandoned it and went to Hearthstone because Hearthstone is actually
Oh my
that
God,
good.
it's like the UI is so well done.
Yeah,
It's like
and
the Magic one. What the fuck are they doing? It's the
It's
biggest
so-
card game in the world. They
Yeah.
have money for it.
and they just don't, because
Yeah,
I think the point is that they already do have the money.
Yeah.
Why spend it? Right?
Yeah, and WotC didn't have any competition, so hopefully Hearthstone either kicks them in the ass and makes them improve, or just puts them under.
Right. So, anyways, and I think one of the huge things is that it's also on iPad. Like,
Yes.
it's mobile, like iOS.
It's
so,
on all phones, yeah.
Yeah,
it's on Android now,
It's
too.
on the iPhone now too.
yeah, which is really cool.
Before you could only get it on the iPad, but now they've made it so it's on the phones now too. So
That's awesome.
It's my most fun part of my day on break.
So, yeah, anyways, that was my 2 cents about Hearthstone. Take it away.
I liked Hearthstone. I'm terrible at it, but that's because I don't play a whole lot.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like the kill some time kind of game.
Oh yeah, it's fun.
But speaking on the Blizzard's aspect, I know Heroes of the Storm just released 2 new heroes. The Butcher and King Leoric just went live today.
Did he go live today?
I think it was today, or it might have been yesterday. But he is up to go, because I know he wasn't Monday, because I checked on Monday, because that's when I first saw the actual video for him. So I'm pretty sure he just went live.
I saw the video last week. I think they had that one out.
Yeah.
I
don't know.
just trying to look it up right now
Yeah,
here.
I know what you're talking about though. I saw it again earlier this week. So I'm assuming that he's out now.
Yeah, he is. I checked today. He is a character I am very interested in playing.
Yeah.
Because of his special abilities.
He's broken.
He absolutely will be broken. But all new characters are broken when they first get out and they balance them out. And once you learn how to fight him too, like it's new character, you've never fought him before. He's got different things. Like when he dies, he can go into like a spirit mode where he can still harass the enemy.
Mm-hmm.
He resurrects where his ghost is.
I actually watched a little bit of it on E3 as well, actually. And yeah, it was pretty impressive on the fact that even if you do die, you get to attack things, and then also there's a certain scenario, isn't it, when you get to respawn?
Probably level 20 alt. Or alt
Yeah.
upgrade.
It's his passive. He respawns where his ghost is.
Where his ghost is, yeah,
Yeah.
which is unbelievable because then you don't have to really walk all the way back.
What's
you
the
can-
cooldown on that?
Yeah, and you can also there's also abilities that allow you to reduce your respawn cooldown as well with him. But no, it looks like fun. Like he's a heavy hitter. He's a warrior, but he's slow. And there's like one of his alts is March of the Black King, where he just kind of basically goes in a straight line and straight line and rampages. Which, I mean, if you get caught in that, you're screwed. But if you get around it, it leaves him pretty open. So
Yeah.
I'm still a big fan of Illidan. I think he's so good.
Skillet Skill Rage?
Yeah. He's just OP.
Did you watch the Heroes of the Dorm?
Yes.
Did you see any of the crowd shots where people had Nerf Illidan signs?
Yeah.
Serious?
Yeah.
Because he's
That's awesome.
broken as shit?
He is. Well, Kalthas is pretty broken too.
No, he's not. Not
No,
like
he's
Illidan.
No,
Well, not nearly as bad as Illidan.
Illidan not stun locked is Illidan killing your team.
Yeah.
with the player who knows how to use them. I haven't came across anyone, but I've been also doing. I haven't been in a rank yet. Zeratul is my guy.
Zeratul sweet.
Zeratul's a lot of fun to use. There's
I love you. Who do you use, Tyler?
I play as Raynor, tank, so Sergeant Hammer,
Sergeant Hammer.
Tassadar,
Tassadar's good.
Uther.
How is Uther?
Uther's fucking sweet.
Yeah,
He's a stun machine if you need him to be, or he has like Divine Shield can just be like, you just waste all your skills.
I'm torn between him and Rhaegar for healing.
Rhaegar's a better healer.
Yeah.
Uther has better utility.
Yeah.
Not to say that Rhaegar has bad utility or that Uther has bad healing.
Yeah.
They're just better than the other at it.
Yeah. I main Zeratul and Zagara. Zagara was one that I didn't actually expect me to enjoy.
Zagara's
But
fun.
Tyler helped me actually with, getting set up on how to play her. And
throw shit at people all day and make creep everywhere.
yeah, and she is so much fun to harass people with.
Yeah.
Like, she is the biggest pain in the ass.
Oh yeah, hunter killers are so irritating.
Yeah.
Like, there's just
You know who I wish was actually really good?
Who?
Arthas. I wish he was a lot
Arthas
better.
is really good.
Arthas is really good.
In the Heroes of the Dorm era, Arthas was broken good. As in, he was first pick or first ban every game, other than Jaina or Sylvanas? One of those two? Maybe both?
I like Sylvanas. Sylvanas has always been my number one, though.
Yeah, Sylvanas is good. But
good.
Arthas had such high damage and snare that you just run him with... I can't remember who it was. It might have even been Jaina if you could get her.
See, I haven't played for a while, so,
Yeah.
things change, right?
Yeah, this is back.
But,
this is like 4 or 5 months back now. Arthas was insane. Then Arthas got hit with a couple of nerf sticks, and his Frostmourne became less sharp. And
all around, I'm happy with a lot of the character selection. I'd like to see some. I wouldn't mind seeing some of the odd ones, like the Lost Vikings were.
Yeah. I'm just really excited to see the Skeleton King.
Yeah, the Skeleton King is on my radar for a warrior cast to try. Because I'd like to get decent with at least one of each.
I'd like to see Wirt from Diablo 2 make an appearance.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Wirt's dead in Diablo 2.
Hey, maybe they'll bring in
Maybe
they'll just bring in a unicorn.
Yeah.
Or the Cow King.
The Cow King! All of his attacks are just moo.
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 I don't know who I'd like to see next. Rexar would be kind of cool to see.
I can't see Rexar making an appearance. They have a lot of Warcraft warriors already.
Yeah, but he can also be an assassin too. He is technically a hunter.
They're just going to bring in a monk.
Eventually. They will, for sure. Although...
I think they're supposed to be bringing in like 2 more Diablo characters.
Shen's a monk. Never mind.
No, like a Diablo monk.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like a Warcraft monk.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know what they're planning. I haven't seen anything since Leoric or the Butcher.
Well, I thought I saw that they were going to bring in 2 more Diablo-style heroes. They were supposed to be bringing 4 altogether.
Oh, wow.
From what
Yeah, Diablo does have a large repertoire of guys to pull in.
I'd like to see a Necromancer make an appearance.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be kind of cool.
Necromancer would be so good. He could be another Abenthyr.
Abenthyr isn't very good. He's really good at pushing, actually.
But he's hilarious when you see 2 Abenthyrs have a slap fight.
Yeah, that's the best, and then you slap fight for the win.
Actually, speaking of him, I watched a video, and this was like my all-time favorite video I've seen so far of just crazy wins in Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah.
The one team pushed really hard, and they knocked the enemy core down to 1% before the enemy pushed them out and took them all out. Abenthyr burrows all the way to the enemy core and slap fights the core down to the last kill.
Yeah.
Really?
It was hilarious because you just see him. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Boom! I win.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's an unfortunate event.
A little bit embarrassing, but I mean, he's amusing.
Yeah, going back to Magic quickly, Kelly. Favorite color or colors?
Well, that's a biased question, actually, because I did really well with a dog barking.
Who let the dogs out?
Sorry about that.
Who?
I did really well with the green, blue, white deck, so those are kind of my favorite colors. Green, white, blue.
That's bad.
But not black. It was Bannets is what it's called. And it did really good. It was like swing. What's that?
Did I not just say that?
Oh, I thought you said black.
No, I said banned.
Oh, yeah, it's Bannet. Sorry.
Fucking turn your dog down. Maybe you'll
Yeah, sorry, I got to turn down my dog here. Just hang on a second here. Just
grab his ear, twist it.
Old Yeller fucking walk there.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, Badge is actually really good. They got like the Loxodon War Priest and stuff at that time, probably when you were playing.
Well, when I was playing, it was weird because it was like Mystic Construction, or when you can like attack for 13 with one shot, and it was like turn 3. You're like, holy shit. Yeah. But that was really fun. I did that quite a bit.
Yeah.
But I'd have to say probably white. White is my favorite color of all time.
Nice. White's a very good color.
Yeah, it's a solid color to be in.
I guess really they're all good. They just,
I never got into Magic.
because you're
I never got into card games.
red black baby, suicide red black.
Yeah. Gomer, didn't you play wrestling at one point?
Did I play wrestling?
Yeah.
I used to wrestle.
No, I mean like wrestling card game.
No, I never played a card game.
I thought that was all about in high school right now.
No, man, I never played a card game ever.
Eric, yeah, admit it, you played Yu-Gi-Oh.
You played.
I never played
Tell me
you.
about the left arm of the forbidden one, Eric.
The left arm of Exodus.
Exodia.
He knows it.
So
He
did-
knows it.
I watched the show. I've never played the game, except for I might play the new Yu-Gi-Oh coming out on the PlayStation.
That's because Jared's gonna give it us all.
Well, since he's not here, I figured out,
Yeah.
shameless plug.
Yeah.
For him.
For Yu-Gi-Oh.
We know.
Thanks for showing up, Jared. Shout out to you.
Oh yeah. P.S. Jared's not here because Jared is.
MIA.
Reason.
MIA.
Jared.
He's not feeling well.
No, what we'll do is we'll just put an insert here,
Yeah.
right where my hand is, and
It'd be like
he can.
Just take a picture of
Be
him.
like a Star Wars holocast of Jared.
Jared.
Save me,
He
Jared.
shaved his beard off.
Did he really?
Yeah, he shaved.
That's
his
probably
beard
why he's not here.
Well, there we go.
off.
He shamed his beard off is more like it.
Like, is it just like a trim, like kind of like
No,
mine, or is it?
It's gone.
Doesn't he still have the stash?
I think he's still got the greasy porn stash.
Does he got a like a handlebar?
It looks like, I don't know if he shaved it off. In the picture that I saw, it was just mustache.
I didn't know that.
Oh, it's a thing.
Apparently, it had to return to his people.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was presentable for something.
Yeah.
What were you up to this last weekend, Eric? Since we both went on for like half an hour about nothing.
What we do.
Yeah, exactly.
I saw Ant-Man, which I enjoyed.
Yeah, we heard about that old new move. Next.
I spent a lot of time playing Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn because the new expansion came out, and I wanted to try it out again, give it an actual honest try for once. Because when I played it the first time, I was playing with a bunch of people, but I didn't have as much time to play as them, so they all hit max level, got bored, quit.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there by myself going, I don't want to play anymore, so...
Standard MMO burnout where people get super into it for a week and then... done.
It's done. So I went back to it. I'm trying out one of the newer classes, the ninja class. I'm enjoying it. It's a lot of fun. Been talking to my coworker a lot about War Machine, getting into that.
Heard a couple people getting into that recently, actually.
Well,
Actually, that's a good topic to talk about today.
I like the Warhammer universe. It's just the game itself it's too expensive to get into, for one.
It's not the game itself. It's a Games Workshop.
Fair enough.
Well, okay, so last past weekend, I actually got a chance to go to the local board game store, Dragon's Den. It's a great place.
I thought this was about me.
Well, I just want to talk about War Machine because this is all about you, right? So, you're the one who actually introduced me to it.
Yeah.
And I agree. I think War Machine is the actual place that I want to be at if I want to be in a miniature game.
There's that, and there's also the Star Wars one that's been really big too.
The X-Wing or Y-Wing or whatever.
I
Yeah.
haven't looked into that much, but the War Machine, I really enjoy the idea of it because the whole steampunk idea
Right.
Plus-
Yeah.
goes side by side with the Hordes gameplay.
Yeah.
Game.
It
You-
has like a fantasy feel to
Yeah.
it though as well, right? Like it's fantasy and steampunk and a couple other things kind of mashed in.
Yeah, you have you have your Warcaster, which is like your general, and then you have your Warjacks, which are your huge robotic steampunk machines, mechs or whatever, and then you have the rest of your army, and it's just there's a lot to go with. Like it's actually really well put together. Like they're constantly updating the codexes and keeping up with the rules.
Yeah.
One of the really cool features that I was told about that I really like is in the bigger tournaments, whatever faction, however your faction that you choose does in the world tournaments, actually affects the lore for the next year of codexes.
It doesn't affect any kind of gameplay mechanic though.
It doesn't change the mechanics; it just affects the lore itself. So if you're someone who likes to get into the lore of the world,
That's cool.
and all the different games, like two of the races I was looking at is Kador, which is kind of like the Russian Viking type race.
Cool one.
They're slow moving. They don't use a lot of warjacks because they have the biggest warjacks with the most damage, but they don't use a lot of them.
What's the size of your warjack, Eric?
That's how you use it.
That's it. There. But I don't know, like when it comes to 40K, I'm just gonna walk past that one, guys.
Don't worry, Eric. We'll share stories about warjacks after the cast.
Yeah.
We'll leave that for a very, very special cast. For all
A very sensual cast.
In 40K, I played Space Wolves. And the reason I took the Space Wolves is because I'm really big into Norse mythology. I like the whole Viking-esque barbarian style. That's what drew me to them. But again, it's just so fucking expensive to get into that kind of stuff. The Warhammer, Kelly.
Yeah.
So War Machine, Khador was one that I really liked, and then there was the Cricks, which are kind of like the Necrons.
I was gonna say they have a name that makes them sound like undead.
They are undead,
Yeah.
but they're heavy spellcasters. They
cool.
play a lot on the spellcaster side, which isn't really my play style.
Yeah.
I've always been more of the in-your-face kind of play style, so that's why I'm leaning more towards the Khador.
Yeah.
I think I would play the Cricks. Like I think
The Cricks look awesome. They have really fucking cool warjacks. They're everything about them looks cool. It's just not much into the caster aspect of things.
Yeah.
But you can also go with mercenary armies because they have a mercenary faction. There's so many of them now that you can literally build a faction out of mercenaries.
That's cool.
Like they have dwarves, so you could actually make dwarves.
40K soured me to dwarves in these games. You're just like, position army in back corner, shoot your army in far corner. Welcome to your game every game.
but it's a bit different though, I think, in War Machine than it is
I
actually
hope so.
Warhammer.
And like I'd give it the hope and the chance, but 40K just soured me on that whole thing. Or
Well,
fantasy.
You can buy starter kits that literally it's an army in one box.
That's just it. It's like $80 to play the game.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I want to talk about that because I did ask about that. Sorry to cut you off, Eric.
Yeah, no way.
And that is basically it. You just need to. A lot of it is customization, right? So you can start off with just like a regular buy a starter deck and go play kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
But then there's customizations where each new set comes out. Like, you know how in Games Workshop, if they decide to open up a new army, if they just focus on the one army.
Yeah.
Whereas War Machine, they do every single army in one shot. So they just open up the newest thing for it. So here's the newest set, essentially, right? Yeah. And that's the cool thing. So then you customize it. But it's super cheap to play, and it's really easy to get into.
Yeah.
That's what I like about it.
Yeah.
What's
Maybe I'll
that?
set up a table down here in my basement, and we can have some games going on the weekend sometime.
Learn it. That'd
Or
be cool.
we can do it in any of your guys' houses if there's room.
Yeah. Well, there's not much room in my place, but plus cats.
We'll do it next to the bathroom or something.
Next to that.
Everything's next to the bathroom in his house.
But yeah, no, I like it. It's what I'm definitely interested in. And I was also reading that, not that any of us are huge into the Halo universe, but there's actually a Halo tabletop game based on all the space battles.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that might be actually kind of cool.
It's another miniature game. It comes in one box. It's like they do like the Fall of Reach and stuff like that, but you do it from the ship side of things.
Is that kind of like the game Dreadfleet? Do you know?
I'm not sure. I've never played. I don't know what Dreadfleet is.
Dreadfleet is fantasy Warhammer, and it's on the high seas. Every team has a boat or a series of boats, and it's one contained box with its own set of rules. So it sounds kind of like that, which is sweet, because Dreadfleet is actually fun, which I was surprised with, because I'm not a big fan of Games Workshop.
I hate Games Workshop.
Yeah, exactly.
I just like the universe they created.
Yeah, that's just it. That's what brought me into fantasy. Was like I read through all the codex, and I just read all the flavor text. Like, this game sounds awesome. This is well written and well put together, enough to the point where it's like, this is interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, the
I'll
game
buy
is
an
just
army.
brilliant.
Yeah, $600 later, that game sucks.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, a new codec comes out, your whole strategy's gone, and not in a good way, not in an interesting mix it up sort of way. It's this army's now broken and yours is not, or yours is bad again, because you don't play a main team that lots of people buy.
Well, or not only that, or if your team is really good and they nerf it, or they come out with newer things and that unit is way better than the other one, so you have to go and buy that unit, and it's just...
Well, it's just lose-lose, especially with like the community and stuff, because it's like, okay, you play Demons of Chaos. Everyone hates playing you because they're like, oh, you just play the Broken Army. Like, I didn't pick it to play the Broken Army. I picked it because I like Demons of Chaos.
Yeah.
Or you pick Dwarves and you just always suck.
Yeah.
Or you pick the team that is broken. They become not broken next expansion or patch, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And then it's like, now everyone just rags on you because it's like, I can't win anymore because my team got neutered so badly.
Yeah.
And now everyone thinks that it's super cool just to bash you the entire game. It's like, this isn't a good community, guys.
Well, it's, 40K is taken off so much, and more and more people are going to 40K.
Yeah.
It's like fantasy just got left in the dust.
Unfortunately, yeah, because I think fantasy is actually the better game, but...
I agree. Just because I found it takes a little bit more strategy when you're playing. Because I played greenskins in the fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
Which I didn't choose them because they were good. I didn't choose them because they're bad. I just chose them because they're fun.
Mm-hmm.
Eric, I will say that your strategy with greenskins, not skill-based. Taking 18 fanatics into your army defies your skill-based combat. You're like, sheer dice roll!
And let's see how stressed out we get.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's all my night goblins. Surprise!
Don't get me wrong, it's funny as hell. It's frustrating.
It's I don't use that strategy all the time, but it's definitely one for...
How douchey do I want to be?
How much can I stress your guys out?
Yeah, let's turn that up to 18.
So are you guys actually serious about getting into War Machine? Because I will definitely hop on that train.
I'm absolutely serious about it. I just need to pick up the starter kit.
Let's do it.
I don't know.
Tyler, you're in.
I'll look at it. If I like the models for one of the teams, I will pay, we'll say, $150 max.
Oh man, you'll get like 2 armies for that.
Perfect.
Yeah, take a look. Look at the Hordes too, because Hordes play with War Machine.
Yeah.
That's another side. Like you can get like an entire Beastman tribe of trolls. Like there's an entire troll army that you can be.
Yeah, think like 40k meets fantasy, essentially.
I'm just gonna pick Space Marines because I have thicker Terminator armor than you. And you have spears.
Oh my head.
Sharpen Rock says nothing.
There's a ton to look at, and look at all the mercenaries because you can build an army out of the mercenaries. Like there's a pirate faction you can build.
Can I make a team of paladins?
Probably. There probably is a form of paladins in the game.
Well, actually, I was
just
that's the protectorate or
The
protectorate of the Menoth, and that's the guys I was gonna pick.
They're the Holy Order.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
I
they
want
have
the Holy Order. I just want paladins.
Then they have the elves, and
Oh my god, I'm not signing up for that. Elves suck.
you don't want to be elves? Come on, bro.
No. Elves
You
are-
could be Retribution. That sounds very paladinish.
It does actually. Retribution, vengeance.
Oh, well, it actually does look really paladinish with monsters and shit.
Kelly's going through all the armies right now. Okay, which one's the most broken?
Yeah.
Duh.
Who's the best army in the game? Quick,
How do
let's
I
get some
net deck an
forums.
army?
All right, okay, these guys are the worst. I'm gonna buy the entire army.
Yeah, that's how I do it.
No. Yeah, I'm super stoked to actually look into that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we could even do like a let's play down the road. We'll talk about that later off the show,
Let's
but
play of that 3 hours in. No, you can't fit between the houses. Your guy's bases touch. You can't finagle through.
welcome to fantasy.
Yeah.
Roll to see how stupid your trolls are.
Yeah. Exactly.
And they just kind of walk forward.
Yeah.
Other than that, my weekend was pretty good. Like I said, I played Final Fantasy. I finally finished Batman Arkham Knight.
Ooh.
Which, good. Some disappointments to it, especially on the DLC side of things. I mean, it offers up exactly what you expect from a Batman game. It's got the combat solid. It's almost too complicated, though, if you're going for achievements. Like, they just added so many different variations to the combat that if you're trying to go for some of the crazier achievements, a little tougher.
Yeah. Achievements should be tough.
Batmobile was fun at first, but the focus on it got a little too heavy, especially the side missions. I feel like they missed out a lot on the side missions, like bringing in other villains. Like, I mean, you had Azrael, you had Penguin, you had Two-Face, and Man-Bat, which were all solid. And of course, you have the Riddler.
Yeah.
And then they brought in Professor Pig, which is a character I've never heard of.
Yeah.
It's in the newer ones.
Yeah, that's what I figured. The Hush was back, but it was literally Lucius Fox is in trouble. Okay, go over there. Oh, look, there's Hush. Let's beat him up. Oh, done.
Oh.
It was like 5 seconds.
That's kind of the problem about having like 20 bad guys, though, is you can't do them all justice.
But see, but that's the difference between why I like Cities so much more, is they had a ton of villains, like, the A-class and B-class villains, and even some of the C-class villains, like Mad Hatter. And they were all there, and all the side missions were, they weren't like crazy long, but they were, they introduced more villains, where Arkham Knight was more of, go shut down these towers, go take out these barricades, go defuse these bombs and fight 50 tanks, Batmobile.
The Batmobile is something new, and they're trying something, which is good. It's good to encourage that.
They're also trying something on their last game, because it's the last Batman game they're making.
If it does well, though, it won't be. It's like
No, they're already working on a new game that has nothing to do with Batman.
Oh.
Rocksteady says they're done with the Batman games.
Yeah, we'll see.
Until they need more money.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers, they're down with the Batman games, which is another story, because, I mean, they did... Warner Brothers was the ones who did Arkham Origins. Rocksteady's done with the Batman franchise. They're moving on. There's rumors about them possibly getting into Superman. If you complete the game 100%, you get to see a pretty cool ending.
That's the Nightfall one, right?
Yeah, because they activate Nightfall, which in the comics I believe is when Azrael takes over. Anyways. Batman's back is broken because of Bane, and Azrael takes up the mantle for a bit. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, who knows? They might carry on with that, or there's rumors that, there's speculation that they might do a Batman Beyond.
That'd be I'd like that more.
That would be cool. And, of course, like I said, the rumors of Superman. Other than that, the game was solid. My biggest pet peeve, and I think it's like everyone's pet peeve, was the Arkham Knight reveal. Anyone who knows anything about Batman, first 5 minutes of meeting Arkham Knight, you knew exactly who he was. The character itself wasn't a character that's been brought into the Arkham series before to this, and you really don't get any backstory on him till much later in the game. So I felt like it was kind of like a ball drop there, where they could have introduced him earlier on in the series if they were going to plan this out properly,
right? And
get the audience more connected to that character.
Yeah.
I like, though, they had a lot of like psychological twists in it.
Oh man, Joker pops up everywhere.
Oh no, it's even better than that, because they actually explain that.
Yeah.
And I don't want to spoil it for you because you haven't played it yet, but that was probably my favorite part of the whole game.
Yeah.
Is when I realized what the hell was actually going on, and it wasn't because of this problem. It was actually because this problem.
Yeah.
And just the way the whole conflict between when you see Joker and Batman still going on in the game as like a sub story that helps out with the main story. Like, there's a lot of things that happen in the game that made, like, there's one part in the game. It's a bit of a spoiler, but it looks like they kill off Barbara Gordon, and they did a great job.
No.
But then you find out she's dead. You find out she's not dead later on in the game, and they explain it all on how like Scarecrow's toxins and everything. And no, it was a good game. Like, it was a solid game. Like I said, my biggest issue was the Arkham Knight reveal.
I have one question.
What?
Harvey Dent.
Harvey Dent.
Trust him. Where are they?
Obviously I kind of have a feeling I know who the Arkham Knight is. It's pretty straightforward. And that, again, leading on to what you said, it's kind of a piss off because they said, like, oh, this is going to be a new character, don't have to worry about it, and then they reveal it as being, I don't want to spoil it, but it's of that character, and you're just like, you could have went the extra mile and make someone new, right?
I mean, I don't think it's much of a spoiler. It was Jason Todd.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a different take on him. There was no emotion to him, or like there was no build up to it. I think it would have been cool to see someone else, like a whole new character, or even just go with Scarecrow. Like Scarecrow was a great villain.
Oh, it was awesome.
He was fantastic. It was cool seeing him take the headline in this one.
Yeah.
And they made him super creepy. But like I said, my biggest issue, like the biggest issue I have with it, is the DLC that they offered with it. Like the season pass is at this moment a complete ripoff.
Really?
I did the Harley Quinn mission, and I did the story pack, and I did the Red Hood story pack.
Yeah.
15 minutes long, each of them.
Sweet.
The new Batgirl DLC, which you get with the season pass, 45 minutes. So unless they're gonna make that better, like make the DLC better, I don't recommend anyone buying that season pass.
Maybe you're just really good at Batman.
I haven't played the Batgirl DLC,
Yeah.
but everywhere I've read, they said maximum 45 minutes, even getting all the collectibles.
Yeah,
that's unfortunate because like, you go out and you spend big bucks for those DLCs, right? Like,
Well, and the Harley Quinn DLC, like it was cool because you play as Harley Quinn. It's actually, you kind of roam around the police department. It's got a little bit of a story to it. But like I said, it's 15 minutes long, where I was more excited to play the Red Hood because Jason Todd is one of my favorite Robins out of the
Dick Grayson.
Dick Grayson's the best. He's my number one. Jason Todd's number two. And then the other two kind of just fall in next to each other.
My favorite Robin is still Hood, but you know.
Yeah. I like Hood. I like Hood a lot.
Robin Hood.
Oh.
My head.
Thanks for keeping up.
Yeah. But his was literally like, oh yeah, you're in a room, you fight a bunch of bad guys, great, okay. Next scene. Jump to the next scene. There's no adventuring. Kelly, you just went really blurry
There
there.
he goes. He's back.
And then, you go to the next scene, and it's, basically a Predator challenge. Hide in the rafters, knock out all the guards. Next scene, Black Mask breaks in with a bunch of guys, fight Black Mask and the guys. It's over.
These villains have really terrible names.
Black Mask, Red Hood.
Captain
Color,
Cold,
article of clothing.
Mr. Freeze.
Oh, that's Blue Bandana.
Oh my god, we got a new character, boys. Sign it up, new 52. Here we come.
Is that Purple Cardigan?
That's the Penguin.
That's the Cyan Shawl.
Oh my god. Sapphire rings.
Yeah. No, out of it, I'd say City is definitely my favorite though out of the Arkham games. Just for the villains and everything, like it was the whole mythos behind it.
I still like the first one because it introduced us to this brand new style of game. It was completely unique at that time. And the other one's built on it in a good way, but I still go back to the original, and I think that
Tyler, go back to original stuff?
I know, right?
Surprise!
At least I keep it consistent.
my problem with Asylum was the boss fights.
I'll give you that.
You fight Bane, that's pretty much the rest of your boss fights. Killer Croc, you run away from him the entire time.
Yeah. Poison Ivy is different, though.
Joker was fighting...
A bigger pain.
That was more like a cinematic fight. It wasn't actually really a fight.
Yeah, like
Batman did lay the smack down.
But you're right, it was a good introduction. I mean, it made Batman really good.
If we're going to get real technical and we're going to go real far back, then clearly the best Batman is the NES Batman, but hey.
The NES Batman, the 1989 one.
Oh, it was good.
With Michael Keaton on the front cover.
Yeah, it did.
Speaking actually of old vintage games, I have actually played some SNES actually as of late.
Yeah?
I actually, when I was in Calgary, I picked up a bunch of games and I played Donkey Kong Country because it's, original, it's fun.
Minecraft level.
Yeah.
Index.
But actually, I picked up Spider-Man and the X-Men versus Arcade's Revenge or whatever.
Yep. So good.
And I remember playing hours in that as a kid.
Yep.
And then I picked it up like...
It was like 7 or 8. You have an ice cream sandwich.
Yeah, I seen that.
Where did it come from?
It took me hours and hours to play that game as a child, and I played it the other day and I beat it in 4 hours. And I was like,
yeah, the old days
it just
were different. Well,
it kind of crushed me knowing that back then my IQ wasn't that high and I couldn't figure it out.
Well, like that one, that's one that's like 8-player, right?
8-player? Like you can choose Cyclops,
Wolverine.
Storm, Wolverine,
And Banshee, isn't it?
Spider-Man. I want to say
Psylocke.
Beast.
I think it's.
Is it the one where they only have the choice of 5 different characters?
Yeah, there's like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking you meant the X-Men the arcade game, the side scroller beat 'em up. That was 8-player.
Oh yeah, I know.
8-player in arcade.
That was a good one.
Yeah, that was fantastic. That's what I thought you meant.
Yeah, no, it's a different one where it's just you have to go through a bunch of death traps at arcade set up for you and stuff.
Yeah, I remember that now. Yeah.
My favorite of the Spider-Man games was the Maximum Carnage.
It's a good one. Have you read the comics, eh?
Yep.
Carnage?
Carnage is
One of the best written ones I've ever read.
Well, I liked it because you got to play as Venom.
Yeah.
That was the first game that really let you play as Venom, and I was a big fan of Venom when I was younger.
Yeah, and
Black
not black suit Spider-Man Venom, but Venom.
Actual Venom. Not Tobey Maguire or Topher Grace Batman or Batman. Wow, oh, trap. Nice. Fuck from the brain. Topher Grace Venom.
Oh man, Tobey Maguire's side haircut emo walk though. Oh
So
baby,
good.
all day.
Saturday Night Fever strut.
That dance. They should bring him back. He should just be Spider-Man for the rest of
I
his...
like him as Spider-Man. He's so much better than Garfield.
Get out.
Wow, that is back to the original kind of thing, hey? Yeah, going back to the originals.
Just get out.
Oh
Hey,
my
man.
god.
What can I say?
Well, the two different. It's like the Nicholson Heath Ledger thing, Tobey Maguire and Garfield, because they're two different Peter Parkers, right?
Yeah.
Like they
One
were.
was good, one wasn't.
Well, that's debatable.
Andrew Garfield brought... Okay, Tobey Maguire was a better Peter Parker,
Yep.
but Andrew Garfield was a better Spider-Man.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree.
Tobey Maguire looked like what you would think Peter Parker would look like or act like. In a sense, he was nerdier looking, right?
Well, I feel Tobey Maguire went off the original Peter Parker,
Yeah.
and where Garfield went off the newer age Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah, but Andrew Garfield, when he played Spider-Man, he had more of that cockiness that Spider-Man, the smart-ass comments, where Tobey Maguire, he had a little bit of it in the first one, but
Yeah, it wasn't the same.
it wasn't the same.
I would give you that.
Hey, Gobbo.
Hey!
Good eye, Mike.
Oh no! You found my only weakness! Small, sharp objects!
Yeah.
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 That was good. I will give you that. I just watched that one recently.
Yeah, there you go.
Again. It was
I
good.
really liked it. I also didn't mind Jamie Foxx's Electro.
Didn't see that second one. Wasn't on Netflix.
I don't know about that. That one was. I didn't like it. I didn't think Electro needed to be in it at all. There was no reason to have him as a.
He was supposed to be the main villain, and then they decided they need to put everyone else into it too.
Yeah, it seemed like it was just crammed in there.
See, what I didn't like is I didn't think Green Goblin should have been in it.
It should have been making a trilogy and have him as the third one.
Yeah,
exactly.
having him pop in at the end.
No need for it.
No.
Yeah.
And I really didn't like what they did with Rhino.
I actually thought it was a different take to it. It's
I thought
unique,
Rhino
right?
was the best character in that movie.
But Rhino was because he was in it for 5 seconds at the end.
I've never seen the movie.
Well, they went with the ultimate version of that one too, right?
Yeah, and I think it's like.
But I just didn't like the way he looked.
He was mechanical, right?
Yeah, it was a mechanical one.
I do know that. I don't know why.
I didn't like the look of it.
What, are you expecting a guy wearing a Rhino suit?
No, I was expecting more of the ultimate style.
Ace Ventura.
What you're gonna do with the suit? That's why I was excited because I thought it was more of the.
Oh my God! Look away.
It's the magical miracle of birth. Look at it, son. Look at it.
No.
Oh my God.
So bad, Ace Ventura.
So bad.
But yeah, no, Rhino. I don't know. It seemed like it was a mech, right? Instead of actual kind of to a rhino suit.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, hold on a second. I got it. Yeah. No, you're right. It was, and it was cool. But I'll show you what I was more expecting.
The Ultimate Rhino one?
Yeah, like Ultimate Rhino.
Like hydraulics and stuff?
Yeah. More of something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
That is sweet.
Like opposed to where he's in the movie, it's...
Is there a dude in that?
Yeah, there's a dude. He's a little nerdy dude.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where
Just a little nerd.
this is the one they had in the movie. If you can see
Cannot
that.
tell what that is. Yeah, you can kind of tell.
It's kind of like it, but
It's a mech.
it's more like he goes down on all fours as a rhino, and then he'll stand up on his hind legs, and that's where his guns are.
Guns, please.
Welcome to the zoo.
Welcome to the zoo show.
Exhibit A.
Check out these pythons! Speaking of new,
Call a vet.
Minecraft has a new director
Ooh.
for the Minecraft movie.
We were just talking about this.
The co-producer, I believe he was, or co-director for It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, is going to be directing the new Minecraft movie.
It's gonna be great.
And they actually have a interactive kind of trailer for the World of Warcraft movie, where you actually get to fly on a griffin like over Azeroth and Stormwind. You can kind of see what it's going to look like in the movie.
They
That's
call
sweet.
it WoW.
Huh?
They call that WoW.
Yeah. Well,
Wow factor.
but you know what it's going to look like in the movie, not in
Yeah.
the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That movie is good. Like, the orc and stuff that they've shown looks
Grim?
awesome.
Yeah, Ogrim looks awesome.
Yeah.
I'm super excited for that movie. I'm actually surprised we've never really talked about it before.
Yeah, that's actually a good point.
It's because it's going back to the roots. Like originally, when they first announced the movie,
Yeah.
it was originally going to take place between the Warcraft 3 and the beginning of World of Warcraft. It was gonna fill that span.
What happened at the end of Warcraft 3?
The orcs are on Durotar and they're setting up their base and whatnot, and they beat Archimonde, and it's basically supposed to be the relate.
Yes. You defend the World Tree, and the World Tree dies.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be like that uneasy peace between all the races.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they end up scrapping that and realize, we should go back to the origin, because they're doing the orcs and men story from Warcraft 1,
Okay.
where the orcs make their first invasion into Azeroth.
I was gonna ask, like, are they actually? Do they have Arthas as one of them?
No, he won't be in it.
He's not in the name.
Arthas came much later, though.
Yeah,
Much later,
If
yeah.
anything, he might be a small boy, but I don't think he was even a boy at the time.
In Warcraft 1, no. Arthas would have been the time of Warcraft 2.
Yeah, Warcraft 2, he's a small boy.
Yeah, he would have been, because he's Uther's kid.
Yeah, no,
He's...
No, Uther is his
Menethil.
guardian.
What's his name?
Uther's his mentor.
Yes.
Yeah.
What I can't remember the name of the king.
Um,
Not
Doesn't
important.
not,
Yeah.
but
I
anyway,
always think Uther is his father, but he's not. Uther is...
his mentor.
Have you read the novel of that? Actually,
The Arthas book? Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was really well done.
it's actually one of my favorite all-time book novels. Like, it's done.
I liked it. I still think that Lord of the Clans was my favorite out of the Warcraft novels.
Just shakes his head. Can't
Not
be bothered
mine.
with this.
But
That's-
I like have a soft spot for Arthas.
It was the original story of Thrall, like where
Yeah.
Thrall came from.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not good. I just, me personally, I like the Arthas one better.
The Arthas book is good, but the Arthas book is also told in Warcraft 3.
Do you want to hear an unpopular opinion?
Sure.
I like Garrosh.
Garrosh? I think Garrosh was an awesome character.
Yeah. Garrosh was a badass in Warcraft, in World of Warcraft.
Yeah. And then they needed a villain, so they made him a villain.
That's also true.
There was some build up to it, but yeah, it felt kind of hackneyed.
Rushed?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Garrosh was never like a super nice guy.
No, but he wanted the Horde to be the Horde.
Yeah, he wanted the Horde to reign supreme and to be pure and to be orc.
Yeah.
Trolls had no place. Taurens had no place.
Which is too bad.
Goblins definitely didn't.
But trolls are the best, so master race.
But I mean, at the same time, like there's, like I think it was Stone Town Peaks in WoW,
Yeah.
where there's a grove of druids tending a life tree.
Yeah.
And the lieutenant or the commander on field blows that up with goblin tech, and Garrosh teleports in and kills him for that action.
Yeah.
Bit excessive.
Well, Garrosh was not happy with that. He never wanted that to happen. Garrosh isn't a bad guy.
Yeah, it's same with when Karen Bloodhoof got killed.
Exactly.
Like, he did not want to kill Karen.
Yeah.
It-
Karen got poisoned?
Yeah, because of Grim Totem. The matriarch for the Grim Totem clan.
Yes.
Because they brought him back. They had welcomed the Grim Totems back
Yeah.
into the fold, and she poisoned Garrosh's blade. And just from a little nick is what killed Karen.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what started the really big escalation of everything.
Yeah. Well, then Bane took over. Bane's cool, too.
Yeah, but Bane and Vol'jin were showing distrust towards Garrosh because the way he was treating everyone, and
Yeah, you want to see another badass? Fucking Vol'jin.
Vol'jin.
yeah, man, I loved the trolls in
That
one.
guy throws down.
Man, he was one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, he's
From the word go.
Yeah, man. He's a
Yeah, man.
badass.
When I played World of Warcraft, I pretty much played exclusively trolls.
yeah, we know.
I don't know. I don't like how the trolls look in
wearing
WoW.
Mohawk having tusk strutting.
Like, yeah, do you guys not like for like the trolls in WoW? Don't you think they look a little flimsy?
Not
Like that, like the game wise.
Well, they are gamey, but that's because of the dark spears. The dark spears aren't like the forest trolls where they're a little bit more bulkier. Like the dark spears were shunned. They were one of the weakest tribes, and they got pushed out of the Gurubashi Empire in Stranglethorn, and then they're trying to survive on the shores of Durotar.
Durotar.
So yeah, they are a lot gainier than the other trolls. Which it was bothersome to me because whenever I saw the trolls and all the artwork and all that, they're all like, they're orcish,
Yeah.
but they were trolls.
Yeah.
But yeah, they grew on me. I liked their lore. Yeah, I just think,
Lord,
Yeah.
if you want.
So Tyler,
Yeah,
here's a question for you.
answering.
Ready for it? You know what? Better yet, I'll give you 30 seconds right now to convince me to go back to World of Warcraft. Go ahead.
Over what?
Over everything.
Over everything?
Well, like more MMOs.
This expansion, I can't convince you.
Ooh.
Straight up, like it's just not a thing. It's more interesting than it was in the last, Hellfire Citadel, I think is what it's called.
yeah.
Is better than Blackrock Foundry. Blackrock Foundry was garbage.
Garbage.
Every single fight was this. As a tank, you get stacking debuff on you. When you hit X number of stacks, switch tanks. Repeat until fight is over. As a DPS. DPS adds in this order. When all adds are dead, hit boss. Nothing else matters. You don't have to dodge anything. You don't have to do anything. Healers, spam AoE heal.
Yeah.
That was all of Blackrock Foundry.
That's it.
Yeah. And, the last boss, Blackhand, no end cinematic, no cool cutscene build-up. It's just, you kill him, it's done. Not cool.
That sucks. There's no cinematic.
But Mop was awesome. You felt
Mob was
super
a-
strong because you did 1 million damage, or DPS rather. I had 4 million life as a tank, and it was just goofy as hell. It was sweet. It was Disgaea numbers.
That's cool.
Disgaea numbers are awesome. You're like, I don't need to have 18 zeros on my attack power, but I want 18 zeros on my attack power.
That is the game of numbers, man. It is
Yeah.
so ridiculous how many numbers you can crunch off in that game.
It starts as a game of numbers, and then it becomes a game of single letters. Like 1.8 M. And I love that. That game was so good.
The only thing I really liked about the newest expansion was getting to see Draenor before it was all torn apart, and getting to see all the old war chiefs or all the old clan leaders.
Yeah,
Like
that is cool.
seeing like Kilrog Deadeye and
That is neat to see guys like that and like
Kargath Blade Fist and all that, and getting to learn about them. That was cool.
Until you do the Kargath Blade Fist fight, and it's the lamest thing ever.
But I mean, that was like the best part about that. As soon as you get into the raids, like you said,
the raids were not well done. The dungeons were even worse, and the enemy pathing is bad.
They still have dungeon finder and stuff.
Yeah, that's all still in.
and now PvP is going the route where it doesn't matter what faction you're on.
The problem with it is that they made it mandatory to have 20 people for Mythic.
Really?
The hardest raid difficulty. And so that means that 25 people, or 25-man groups had to drop 5, and 10-man groups had to gain 10. It is impossible to gain 10 without warning. To gain 10 competent people to the point where you can do difficult mechanics.
So you have to pug a lot then, hey?
You just can't do it. And unless you're on one of the main servers, at which point you're already either in the best guild or you're never going to make it into the best guild because you're not good. And it just doesn't work. And
there's still a lot of people that play WoW.
It's losing subscribers at an alarming rate.
Really?
Yeah. They shot themselves in the foot in this one. They did a really bad job.
Well, I mean, I know a lot of WoW players went to Elder Scrolls Online when it went free to play
I heard that too.
because
There's competition now.
yeah, and they did a good job with it when they did the free to play. They did the Guild Wars route where you buy the game, you can play the game. There's no paying for dungeons. There's no paying for PvP. It's not like Star Wars: The Old Republic where if you must subscribe or else it's not worth even playing the free.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
You get the very watered down basics.
yeah.
Have you guys tried Elder Scroll?
I did. I played it. I played it when it first came out. It was very glitchy and filled with bots to the point where it was just unplayable. Like there was bots that were under the ground moving at warp speed. And all you'd see is their little heads, and they just mine everything. Like, you couldn't do any professions. It was a pain in the ass. And then you'd come across, 6 bots standing on a quest objective character, and as soon as he spawns, they kill him.
Yeah.
So it was really hard to do things.
Sounds like aimbot fun.
Yeah.
So I went back when it went free to play to check it out to see how the free to play was. They improved a lot of things, just little things they added to it. Like now you can actually, when sneaking, you can actually sneaking has a point. Like when it first came out, sneaking you didn't do anything with it.
Yeah.
It was pointless. Now it actually, adds a little bit to your damage. You can actually steal from NPCs now.
Oh, cool.
And you could actually get bounties on you from stealing, and you can go to fences and sell all your stuff. And they've added that kind of some of the elements that Skyrim has that Elder Scrolls didn't have. But at the same time, it's still the combat's really boring. The story is really boring.
Yeah.
It's hard to stay involved in the game because there's nothing that really holds my attention in the game. Because the way it works is you'll hit max level, and then you'll move into one of the other starting areas once you've finished it, and it goes into what they call veteran mode, and you level up till I think veteran level 15.
Yeah.
As high as you can go, and you can go through all the other areas of all the other races. But it scales up to your level, but you never really run into any of the other races. The only time you actually face off against the other races is in the PvP zone. And, I mean, the PvP zone was really cool because you had the opportunity to actually become Emperor of Tamriel if you were good enough. But at the same time, the PvP was really unbalanced for a lot of it. I know when it first came out, Dragon Knight, set up as a Pyromancer, was basically unstoppable. It was just flame AoE, and you just killed everything in your path. It was ridiculous. I think it's gotten a little bit better now, but the classes, if you want to be good with them, they don't play the way you'd expect them to play. Nightblade, one of the better PvP that I've seen is he actually uses two-handed weapons, where the Templar, which is kind of like the melee DPS,
one-handed.
You'd think he'd be more of the tank or the paladin, but he's more of a DPS. But one of the popular ones I've seen with him is he uses medium armor and dual wields, more like rogue, and so on and so forth. And it's just
clunky.
It's clunky. The gameplay is not smooth.
Still not smooth, eh?
It's taken. They try to take It's what happens when you try to make Skyrim and add multiplayer aspect to it, like an MMO. Like you're trying to balance that. Still get the feeling of an Elder Scrolls game, but have the features of an MMO in the game. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it's not a bad game, but it's not a great game.
It's worth the price of free.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, you still got to buy the game essentially, so it's still $70 for the game itself. Once you buy it, you can. Unlike Final Fantasy XIV, but Final Fantasy XIV is a lot of fun. Like the one thing I like about it is I'm an alcoholic. I see something cool on someone else, and I'm like, I need to try that.
Couldn't care less.
Mm-hmm. And everyone's different,
yeah,
right?
Exactly. That's just my style. Like in WoW, I have one character. I have no desire to play another.
See, and I want to have that feeling, but I always find myself drawn to other character classes because I have such a wide variety of how I play. And Final Fantasy gives you that option where you make one character. If you get tired of being a tank, you can go level the other jobs.
Yeah, that's what I like about the Final Fantasy XIV, is you're not just stuck to doing one thing, right?
Yeah, like I'm playing a ninja now. Maybe down the road I feel like becoming a black mage. Okay, well I guess I'm gonna go level up the black mage pre-jobs and become a black mage now.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then all you have to do is carry the weapons and make sure you have the weapons for those classes on you. You can just switch on the fly.
All you have to do is carry like 4 sets of gear. You're good.
It seems like we're talking a little bit about.
You have lots of room for it though. So.
What was that, Kelly?
Sorry. It looks like we were talking a lot about MMOs and stuff like that this session. And I just wanted to touch back on Guild Wars, because we just talked about it. Guild Wars 2 was pretty good. I enjoyed it. But I'm really excited to see Guild Wars 3 with the E3. You don't like it?
Guild Wars 2 is terrible.
Oh, at the end, I quit it.
Guild Wars 3? I haven't heard anything about Guild Wars 3.
Guild Wars 3 looks actually really fun.
I've only seen the expansion for Guild Wars 2.
No, it's...
Because there's an expansion coming out for Guild Wars 2 that's coming out.
Oh, maybe it's the expansion.
I think you're thinking about the expansion, because there's been no talk about Guild Wars 3.
Right, it is the expansion. Sorry. I'm tired.
Here exclusively. Guild Wars 3.
Spoiler! Anyways, with the expansion coming out to it, it looks like it's going to be really fun. You can make your own... It's like a guild hall, whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I know we've talked about the whole garrison thing and building up the things, but this actually looks like it's not just your personal one. It's you can customize the shit out of it with the whole guild. So I think that's going to be kind of cool.
Hi. She's thanks.
Yeah, the Guild Hall
True
thing
love.
sounds neat, but I don't know. Guild Wars 2 had no endgame content,
Yeah.
and
Zero.
the classes were boring. They're uninspired.
Do you want to be on here?
Like,
I
there
enjoyed the hunter, and that was about it, or the ranger.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
but
there
the
were some cool fights that I did in Guild Wars. That
What do
were
you think about the
random.
Ranger? The Ranger was bad.
No, he was god awful, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then sometimes that's what it is. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, this class is awful, but I'm playing it because I like the feel.
I like the Engineer. Engineer was a lot of fun.
I played
No, like
Guardian.
obviously, if you're gonna go hardcore, I think that was it the warrior that's doing like the huge back and forth thing that was doing stupid amounts of damage.
The Guardian, it was Guardian, all like the best.
Guardians, yeah,
End game was PvP, right?
yeah.
Guardian, Necromancer, Engineer, Thief, Elementalist. Those were like your main groups that you'd see. Mesmer was kind of on there, but Mesmer was more of a roamer. Rangers
Born to
were.
Walk Alone.
They will, yeah. They pretty much run around the battlefield on their own.
It's a song, Eric.
I know. Well, but the Ranger wasn't that great. I mean, it was fun
Nothing
to
goes
play,
over my
but
head.
I really like the Engineer because I like his utility. Flamethrowers, grenades, guns. My dog's gonna vomit.
Cool feel.
That's a great class, actually. My dog's gonna vomit.
Yeah. She's coughing next to me. Now she's giving me dirty looks. And it's like with Final Fantasy again. Like they have a new class, the Machinist, which looks like it's right up my alley. Turrets, guns, and they brought in the Dark Knight. Which
How is it?
Where are they?
How was it? The Dark Knight was good. It's tanky class, two-hander.
Same old shit, different file.
That is legacy now, unfortunately.
Uh,
Speaking of legacies, by the way, Bloodstained, 5.7 million.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it first here.
An hour and 27 minutes in, or an hour and 23 minutes in.
fuck out. Get out.
But I'm in my own house.
So, yeah, I agree with Tyler. The Guild Wars end content, even the PvP. I was so excited for the open world PvP, but after one round of 16 hours, you're just and I'm never doing this again.
Yeah, I found it to be very lackluster. It had hype and it was a lot of fun leveling up but then you're just now what? Right?
Story-wise, the main story, they tried to have that personalized story, and it was not good.
No.
It was not a good story, and that was Star Wars: The Old Republic. It was good for playing through your main story.
Yeah.
But it's the same issue as Elder Scrolls. They're trying to make a BioWare RPG into an MMO, but keeping the elements of the BioWare RPG. So playing through the classes and doing their single-player story, awesome. Yeah. Great stories, most of them. Bounty Hunter had one of the best stories in the game next to the Imperial Agent. Endgame, broken to all hell. So bad that if you wiped on the last boss in the first raid, 9 times out of 10 it would glitch and you wouldn't even be able to do the rest of the fight until it refreshed.
Really?
It was bad. And the second boss the first boss of the second raid, no aggro table at all.
Really?
Yeah, sometimes that's an intended mechanic.
Oh, and it was, but it was a really bad no aggro table. It's it was just chaos. Pure, utter chaos. There was no way to control the fight at all. And most of the time, he'd just single out the healers right away, and we'd be dead.
Then dead.
It's the only MMO I played a healer as.
Oh, boy.
I feel a lot, because I should never play healers. The fact that someone let me raid as a healer was their mistake to begin with.
Yeah.
To be honest, that's kind of cool that you admit it, because I know there's a lot of people out there who be like, no, I can totally do this.
No, I am not a healer. I am a DPS, and I'm a tank. But I haven't played a tank in a long time, so I can't guarantee I'd be a good tank, but I could probably get back into it pretty quick, because that's mostly what I played. Vanilla, BC, and a little bit of Wrath as. I kind of got crazy about the Death Knight when Wrath came out, though, so I went DPS.
Yeah. Well, Death Knights can tank now.
Yeah. I don't like Death Knight tanking, though. I was always a fan of the Warrior tank. Warrior tank was always my favorite.
No, they're good. They all have their own niche,
Yeah.
their own specialty, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, it's just personal preference.
Yeah. The thing about all these MMOs and PvP though is I just don't see the reason. Play a game designed for player versus player content, which is WoW is not.
Yeah.
Guild Wars is not. Your character is designed to fight PvE style.
Yeah.
Whereas League of Legends or Dota or HOTS, they're designed for PvP. The mechanics are all built to work in tandem or against other mechanics that are in the game.
Yeah.
The things I like about the PvP in some of the games is I always like the idea of the grand armies of players rushing each other and doing keep battles and stuff like that. And there's not a lot of games that have that aspect, just as the game itself where it's built like that. So you find that in a lot of MMOs. Problem is there's always balancing issues in pretty much every MMO because you got to balance that PvE and PvP.
It's tough that way too, right?
As far as PvP went, the best game I ever played for PvP, and it's the reason the game failed, was Warhammer Age of Reckoning. It had some of the best PvP I ever played.
Yeah.
But it was PvP centric, and that's why it went under.
I never played it, so.
Yeah, I didn't play enough of it to make a judgment call.
City, you do sieges on the actual capital cities and stuff like that, and it was a lot of fun. But it was that whole.
I don't know, because then you get into the whole AV thing where AV goes for 18 hours straight, and it's just not fun after an hour. That was just painful.
See,
I've been fighting for this garrison for 48 minutes.
And that was stuff I liked, though. That's just stuff I like in games.
But you just sit there for 30 of those minutes where you're just
I know.
What's happening? Camp here, Alliance Horde.
I know, and for some reason I enjoyed it. And
and that's just it, right? That's the whole people having different preferences.
Yeah, and it's not something that, I don't think PvP should ever be a main focus in MMO. I think it should be, there if people want to do it, like how World of Warcraft does it.
World of Warcraft does not do it like that. Let's be clear. They nerf my class all the time because they're good in PvP. And they nerf them for PvE.
Well,
before when they, started bringing it out.
Yeah.
But like one easy fix WoW could do, and WoW has the perfect system with talents and specs, is give everyone a 4th or 5th spec just for PvP.
That's a great idea.
That's a pretty smart idea, actually, Tyler.
Or
because I've put a lot of thought into that one.
or just having a separate talent tree for PvP.
That's what I mean. Like, if you're PvPing, you must be in this talent tree.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great idea. And I think that's something any game could do.
Yeah, it just makes it easier with WoW, because WoW already has those systems in place. And, like, the PvP resilience and PvP damage, I can't remember what it was called, PvP power, is a poor fix, because it just lets you wear your PvP gear in the world and fucking dominate people. You're like, you get hit, your gear levels up 100 item level, and now all of a sudden you have double life and do double damage.
Yep.
That's cool. Let's have fun playing that.
Oh, and then they just camp.
I
right?
earned this. Yeah, your gear is better than mine in the world and as good as mine in Raid.
Yeah.
How is that fair?
Well, the fact that you could buy, like, a set of, like, the blue PvP gear.
Yeah.
And now you're raid ready. You have the eye level to do a raid.
But I can't do that for PvP. I have to go grind out honor in terrible battlegrounds, dying horribly.
Yep. Before you can get half decent gear.
Yeah, it's dumb. PvP is dumb.
Yeah, it is dumb, and I agree with you. It is dumb.
Yeah.
It's something I enjoy to an extent, but I'm not a crazy hardcore PvPer, but it's something I like to do every now and then.
Well, me and a druid used to do 2v2 arenas all the time as a paladin druid combo, and you just blow up one person instantly.
Yeah, you do.
It's just like
He's not wrong.
Paladin
not
Deep,
wrong.
Yeah, Paladin Deeps works in a way that every 20 seconds of 5 minutes, your damage is ridiculously high.
Yep.
But for the rest of those 4 minutes and 40 seconds, it's
garbage.
ridiculously low.
Yeah.
So in those 20 seconds, you must kill someone, and you will, because you'll 3-hit them.
Especially when you got a druid at your back.
Yeah.
Was he feral or
He was going actually healer.
resto? Oh my god!
It's just and it was good. It was dumb, but it was
I
good.
fucking hated resto druids in PvP.
They got real dumb at the this was during MOP, so like numbers were huge.
Yeah.
And his HOTS would heal you for way too much.
Yeah, I could never kill a resto druid in the PvP.
Yeah, I could as a paladin, but it becomes a battle of whose mana bar runs out first.
Yeah.
And that is a long, grueling
It's
battle.
a very. You know what's equally a long battle? 2 blood knights taking each other on.
Yep, where you're like, life tap to full, life tap to full,
Yep.
life tap to full, life tap to full.
Funniest fight, and it's funny because if you ever, I ran a blood death knight in PvP, and me and this other blood death knight on the alliance went toe to toe, and everyone left us alone for the entire fight. They just let us sit there and beat on each other.
Because it's just pointless to get involved.
We were there for the entire battleground. I think it was like Strand of Ancients. We were still on the beach hitting each other.
That's awesome.
Well, I remember, like, vanilla WoW, shamans were stupid, right?
Oh,
like,
God.
with Wind Fury.
You're like,
Like-
oh, I hit you 19 times.
In a matter of, like, seconds, too, right? You're just like, oh my god, how do I keep up with this?
Every attack has a chance to proc 3 attacks, and each one of those attacks has a chance to proc 3 attacks. Sometimes you're like, you're dead.
You remember that time where you tried to quest in Hillsbrad, during
Yeah.
Vanilla WoW.
Oh, yeah, and you're like,
the epic war is still going on.
yeah, you're like, oh, Terran Mill's under attack again. I guess I can't be here. There's level 50s in the level 20 zone. That's cool.
I kind of liked it back then because it was like
so much fun.
players were more interested in actually defending things. Like Crossroads would come under attack, or like I played Alliance at the time, so we'd attack like Crossroads. Matter of minutes, you had like this huge battle going
Back
on.
then there was more players though, right? And now there's just not that player base. And
Well, then they brought in Battlegrounds, and then it just Battlegrounds took.
yeah, that's where all the PvP went. They migrated to there.
Yeah, and I get why they did it, but
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but at the same time, it's for the better.
yeah.
Made the game better.
One
Did you see, when...
Damn it, Kelly.
Sorry, what? Sorry.
You're the worst.
Boy,
Go ahead, Kelly. You can continue to interrupt.
tell us your fucking super important story over here.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. Go ahead.
No.
Tell us your story, Eric. That we
Uh,
don't care about.
rude. Well, I don't want to tell it now. Kelly, go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. We were talking about how people would just ruin like things. There was a time, I can't remember the end boss, but they actually dragged him. It was a glitch, and they actually dragged him all the way to Stormwind City.
Oh, that was
The giant demon.
Kazak.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he literally wiped out the server for like.
Oh yeah. Or
4
when people
months.
went to Silithus, the raid there, and got the thing that plagues you, and then they just hearth to the auction house. And every time you die, it spreads to everyone around you.
I also remember when there was random dragon attacks in vanilla.
Yep.
Those were the good days.
People training things to where they shouldn't be.
Yep.
Those are
Oh,
great.
you had the one emerald dragon that would just Eshkander or whatever.
Yeah.
Sunken Temple. He just randomly would show up once in a blue moon and just start killing things.
Yeah. I don't know. But that always goes back to the good old days of EverQuest when you could train things infinite distance. Things didn't lose aggro, so you're like, cast Fireball on something, cast Gate. Thing chases you to wherever you're bound in that zone.
Or it was great for griefers too.
Yeah, then you're just like, oh, feign death.
Yep. Played a monk.
Yeah.
Oh, you just stole my camp? Guess what? Here comes all the orcs.
Yeah. Let me bring you some friends.
And then you stop right in front of Feign Death, and you just watch like 100 orcs just smash right into him.
Yeah, just the wall of death.
Train to north left.
Yeah, train to those bastards.
EverQuest was a great game.
It was.
It was a vicious game.
Never played it.
Oh,
EQ punished you for dying.
Yeah.
Real hard.
Like you had to make sure, like when you went to a new place, you had to make sure that you would get soulbound to whatever town or city was in the area or closest. Because if you died and you were not soulbound to there, you would go to your last soulbound spot. Which, in my experience, I went to Kinos
Yeah.
and died, but I was bound in Kelethan.
Yeah. To get to Kinos from the closest other city is well over a 2-hour run.
Yeah.
If things go well.
That would just
Things
ruin the
will
game.
not go well.
Plus they had things like, it wasn't like, oh, you go to this zone and this zone is levels 1 to 10. It wasn't like that. You'd like walk up a pathway, and on the left-hand side of the pathway would be like level 15 goblins. But on the right side of the pathway was level 30 goblins. But wait, there's a level 50 griffin flying around the zone.
Yeah. Random pathing.
Random pathing.
And it's faster than you are.
Or you'd go into a zone during the day, level 15 mobs. But at night, level 30 undead.
Kith Core was awesome.
Yeah. And that was what made the game interesting. Like,
The game was so haphazard in everything it did. It was awesome.
it was a lot of fun, and it was cool because they had like the way the reputations were. You could build your reputation with other cities, but if you built it up with, say, City A, City B would start to hate you because they're rivals.
Yeah, like if you got good with Freeport, Nariak would hate you. So that's humans in Freeport and Dark Elves in Nariak.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty neat how it's like you choose one faction and kind of work your way that way, right? You
Yeah.
can't go.
And like you can change, but it takes a lot of time of like Yeah.
And it was nice because there was no actual real factions to it. You could just pick a race, and the race's relationship was based on whatever they were. Like, ogres were hated by pretty much everyone except for a handful of guys.
Trolls and dark elves.
Yeah. But dark elves could at least get into Freeport in the main city of Freeport, but they couldn't get into the area where the paladins were.
Yeah. Fun fact.
Yeah. And it was stuff like that. Like, if you wanted to travel Freeport, you were fine, but as soon as you went into the area where I think the only bank was,
Yeah.
which was run by the paladins, you were instantly kill on sight.
Oh yeah.
And that was the charm of the game.
Oh, absolutely.
Plus 200-man raids.
200-man raids.
200-man raids.
I think Fires of Heaven was a 600-man raid to kill Tunair.
I don't think I ever did that one.
I sincerely doubt it because I think they are the only ones that ever did.
Yeah.
She regenerated something like 1.6 million life every 6 seconds.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's a lot in EverQuest when you're hitting for 400.
Yeah.
Which is why you need 400 to 600 people. But I think we're running out of time here.
Yeah, we are.
Yep.
So, don't forget, thanks for watching, and make sure to follow us on Twitter at Game Jockeys, and Facebook is Game Jockeys as well. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment under the video if you like what you see. Again, I'm Eric and Tyler.
I'm pointing at Kelly. You said his name second the first time.
Was I? Well, fine, Kelly.
It's me. It's me. This guy.
It's Kelly.
Kelly, right here.
That's Tyler.
We've nailed this intro and outro.
You were good at it today. It's late here. It's
I
late.
think we're ready for like the Olympics.
The Bethel Olympics.
Special, yeah.
I'm Tyler.
But on that note, we will see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Same Bloodstains channel.
See you.
Same Bloodstains channel.
Sounds like a period joke.
Yeah.
I gotta go.